What if I told you that you could fit an entire craft room into a single cabinet? Because you can. I'm talking about the DreamBox 2 from Create Room, and in this video I'm going to show you how it works, why it does, and I'm even going to let you see the horrific storage system I had before. Yeah, it's bad. For years, I had an entire craft room. Then my husband and I had a baby, and then another baby, and then a puppy. And we grew a business, and we grew another business. And all of a sudden, my craft room was a corner of our shared office. So I did what any sane, smart, savvy girl would do. I found an armoire for free on the curb on the side of the road, picked it up, shoved it in the corner, and shoved all my supplies inside. It's about as bad as it sounds. Luckily, we very recently finished the sunroom that I'm standing in as an addition to our home, and so it was my chance. I had my own space once again to make whatever I wanted out of it. But storage was still a huge issue. I made a vow, no more would I spend my precious crafting time digging through bins of things, looking for supplies that I never could find. This was going to be my fresh start, and I was gonna do it right. Before we get into all the good stuff, I wanna be super upfront. I reached out to Create Room and asked them if they would be willing to send me a DreamBox 2 so that I could review it, try it out, and share everything I've learned with you all. They were gracious enough to do so. And so thank you to Create Room. And even better, they also gave me a promo code. So if you're, after watching this video, you feel like this is a good fit for you and you're interested in ordering one, it will help you save several $100s. So use promo code RUNTORADIANCE for the best savings possible. When you go to order your DreamBox 2, you're gonna have a lot of upgrade options and things you can add on to make the box right for you. It definitely helps to know before you order how you'll be using the box. So for example, I am a DIY blogger, but I also run a successful ghostwriting business. And so for me, I've got to have a dedicated writing desk to do the other half of my work. And so I knew that I would rather have the extra shelves and storage instead of that taller desk space. But if you only have one space to work and you want to do your, computer work and your crafting in the same space, then you can choose a configuration that works for you. Once you place your order, you'll get a general time frame about when your delivery might occur. And then as it gets closer to the date, you'll get a phone call from the actual delivery company to set up a time frame for your box to come. The driver just called. They should be here in about 10 minutes. So I'm out front and just waiting. I don't know. So I was told it would be a driveway drop-off, but because of how our house is situated, they ended up doing the front yard. And that actually worked out so much better for us. No hauling boxes up the garage stairs, yay! So as you can see, we took apart the big box in the front yard and brought in all the individual smaller boxes inside one by one. We definitely could have not carried or even fit that huge box through our front door, I don't think. So I will say the one upgrade I didn't do that pretty much all these review videos recommend that you do is the pre-built option. Okay, we're about to start building. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So Create Room offers a pre-built option that will have your box come mostly assembled. It cuts your assembly time down from an estimated 8 to 10 hours to 1 to 3 hours, which sounds great. But I didn't do it for two reasons. First of all, I wanted to see how hard it actually was to build so that I could give you all an honest review and my thoughts on that. Secondly, I'd rather personally keep that extra several $100s and use that for more craft supplies or for more storage solutions for my space. And so at the end of the day, you need to decide what's right for you. But I personally did build the DIY option, so I built it myself with the help of my husband. Now, if you have 8 to 10 hours free in a row, you can totally power through and knock it out in a day. But we're both entrepreneurs, we have 2 young kids and a very curious puppy at home, so we had to kind of cobble together hours over several days. And as you can see, we got interrupted fairly frequently, but we continued to power through. I will say that the instructions were really good, and I appreciate how almost everything was labeled to make it as simple as possible to grab the right pieces. And so by the end of night 1, we had the center box built, and it was time to get some well-earned sleep. Good morning. Well, I slept terrible last night. I think I slept like 2 or 3 hours. I was just, I don't know, thinking about the DreamBox and all my craft supplies and how I was going to fill the machine and what I wanted to do. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited to keep going. This is full of iced coffee. Wish me luck. So armed with iced coffee and sheer willpower, we kept on trucking. And it wasn't long before we had the 3 main boxes built. Honestly, if you have ever assembled furniture from a flat pack furniture store, you can totally assemble the DreamBox. It's just following directions, and these directions are great because they have words and pictures, which we both really appreciated. And as always, there was a slight change of plans. When you walk in, you'd see like this part. This is the entrance to this room. So you'd see like the side. And I really want to see the pretty part, the inside. So, change of plans. We're gonna move this whole thing before we mount it to this wall behind me. So it'll be like the first thing you see when you walk in. And I'm so glad I made that decision. It works so much better for the room flow. And so we secured it to the wall using the mounting hardware that Create Room provides. And then it was time to put all the shelves and tracks in and start filling it up with stuff. So, are you ready for some really good news? Adding all the shelves and tracks is super easy. It's a peg system, and Create Room even provides instructions and suggestions on where the peg should go for the most storage possible. And while you can certainly make it your own and change things up, I mainly chose to stick with their suggestions just to limit my choices a bit since I already had so much to decide. So when I was ordering my DreamBox, I decided to upgrade to the full Tote package. The upgrades were all tempting, but doubling the storage is absolutely the name of the game here. I was pretty excited to see how many totes there were, and also how good the quality is. They feel really sturdy, and they also have this really pretty iridescent sheen to them, which is totally my jam. I also spent an additional $86 on the swing door upgrade, which got me extra jars, rods, and shelves for the outermost doors. So yeah, basically, I packed as much storage as possible into this DreamBox. And yeah, remember, I've got a lot of stuff I've got to fit in here. 15 years worth of things, and then plus some. Woohoo! We did it! The DreamBox is officially built. All the tracks are in, the shelves are in, the bins are in. I'm super excited to get to the next part, which is filling it with my stuff. I have quite the craft stash, and I kind of doubted as to whether this would be able to hold it all, and after seeing it, I think it's going to be more than enough room, but we'll see. Yeah, let's get to it. I honestly love this part so much. It was so great to rediscover so many old favorite craft supplies. And when it came to organization, I just decided I would group all the like things together and try to keep them in somewhat close proximity. Another thing I found super helpful was to get rid of as many containers as possible. Not only do these jars look so much better than the original packaging, but it keeps everything looking uniform and neat. I actually found this entire process really soothing. The little jars are actually really great. They hold all kinds of supplies from beads to sequins to pom-poms, things like that. And once I had them all filled and decanted, it's time to start putting them back in the DreamBox. Here you can also see another upgrade I made, which was to get the clear guards rather than the white. I just think they look better. And I really was pleasantly surprised at how much fit inside those swing doors. They're thin, but they're really efficient. It's the perfect spot for spray paint, glue, ribbon, washi tape, yarn, jars of beads, glitter, anything narrow fits awesome right there. Next up was paper, and I organized that very similarly. I grouped paper by size and then by color, and I sorted everything into a pretty rainbow ombre, which is just like so aesthetically pleasing to look at. I also found that the paper fits perfectly inside of the large totes, which are a little bit bigger than 12 by 12. So if you have scrapbook size paper, they will fit perfectly fine in there, as will sheets of vinyl, felt, and other similarly sized materials. Okay, we did it. The DreamBox is built and it is filled. And I know when you look at these reviews, everyone kind of says the same thing. But I really am shocked at how much stuff fits inside of this DreamBox. And you know, I have been a DIY blogger for 13 years. Before that have been a crafter for a very long time. So I don't have just like a regular person supply. I have a lot of stuff. And so I was very pleasantly surprised to see how well everything fits. Yeah, it's just really been cool and just fun to know where all my stuff is and be able to find it and start crafting instead of digging through boxes and looking for stuff. So it's been a great experience overall. So while I love how the DreamBox looks, I want to take it a step further. And so, you know, if you've been here any amount of time or read my blog, you know I'm a huge believer in form and function. Simply meaning the things you bring into your home and your life should be functional. They should work for you. They should serve a purpose. They should fit your life season and where you're at and what you need. But that does not mean they can't also be beautiful and bring you joy and be aesthetically pleasing. And while, you know, the DreamBox looks great right now, I just know how I work best, and I appreciate kind of the more hidden storage versus the clear totes. And I just want more color also. I just want this to be like a dopamine hit every time I look at it. And so I'm going to make some covers for these clear bins that'll just sit in the front. And I'm gonna cut out little covers for them, and also some labels with the Caesar Juliet, which fits perfectly right here, by the way. And I'm gonna do it all so that it's, you know, not permanent, it's temporary, it's removable. I can play around with it, move things around. But here's the color palette I'm going with, and it's just like, these are like my happy colors. These are the colors that bring me joy. They match my logo, but that's because that brings, you know, makes me happy. So it's gonna be a fun, pastel-y, tropical rainbow. Every time I open this up, it's gonna be another dopamine hit, which, you know, is fun. So here's a quick tip that might be helpful to some of you who are also like me, where you need to have the visual. You can't just imagine what, you know, things will look like. I need to see it. So I grabbed some sticky notes that coordinated roughly with, you know, the colors I selected. And so rather than go ahead and cutting all these out, I'm going to use these to put them on the tote just to get an idea of where I want what color. You can also do this similarly by printing off one of the diagrams from Create Room and using highlighters or colored pencils, markers to fill that in, but I need to see it like with my own eyes in real life. So I'm gonna use these. Again, maybe you don't need this and you just go for it, choose what suits you best, but yeah, I think these are really fun and it'll give me a good idea of where I wanna put what color. So there's the plan with that. So when it was time to actually sit and cut all the tote covers out, it really was not that hard. I already had designed the SVG in all 3 different sizes, and so it was just a matter of sitting there and cutting out all 62 of them, which again didn't take too long. So I designed my tote covers to be a little different from some of the other ones I've seen. I added a scalloped edge at the top for a bit of whimsy, and I love how it turned out. It's so cute. And then it was time to actually put the covers in. Now, I've heard some people say that they've had to use glue dots or double-sided tape. I actually did not have to use anything to secure them, probably because my bins were stuffed so full that, you know, it just kind of held it there in place on its own. And This is where that colored map I made earlier with all the different bin colors really came in handy. I was able to just follow it kind of like a map and know exactly which color went where. And finally, it was the moment I had been waiting for. It was time to sit back and actually enjoy and use my DreamBox. Oh, and by the way, yes, I did hang approximately 8,100 shimmering tiles on the wall behind the DreamBox just for a fun disco vibe, which adds, to the appeal even more. I am honestly so happy with how everything turned out. I'm so proud of how it looks, and so totally grateful to have the space once again to sit and create and dream. So now I totally get why they call it a dream box. It's a dream space. I've had my DreamBox 2 up and running for several days now, and it has been such a joy and yes, a total dream to have. It's been so much fun to have everything laid out, to know where all my supplies are, everything has a place. I've been able to create several projects with my kids, which has been a lot of fun, and also several things by myself, which is also fun. And while I like to keep it open because it just makes me so happy to look at, I love that I can close it all away and keep it safe from those curious little sticky toddler fingers. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. It's so happy and so fun and bright, and also super functional. So fun and functional, which is like love language right there. That's the ideal. And so yeah, if you all are interested in learning more about the DreamBox, check the links below. If you're interested in purchasing a DreamBox 2, I've got a promo code for you that'll help you save a couple $100s, which goes a long way. But thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think and what else you'd like to learn about the DreamBox. I'm an open book and happy to share. So thank you all for watching.